Hi all, Carrie with King Concoctions here, back to make more cold process soap. Today's soap is another one of the gifts I'm making for a friend who helped me move in September. She requested fresh basil as the scent and asked that I use the colors that are inspired from the Druid class in World of Warcraft. So I will be using orange, the class color, as well as green and brown for the Druids' association with nature. I also wanted to use a little bit of uncolored soap batter just because that's the natural state of the soap. Housekeeping! Description box has recipe, supplies, and tools used, social media accounts, and coffee to support my channel. Also, please like, subscribe, and comment. Okay, that's out of the way. Let's make some soap. Adding my lye water to my oils. As you can see, I'm not going to buzz it up just yet. I'm actually going to use a whisk to kind of incorporate it all together and kind of get it into a very, very loose emulsion. I learned this technique from Ophelia over at Ophelia Soapery. I'm doing it this way because I'm planning on making a layered soap, and I will stick blend each color individually. I'm going to pour off a fourth of my batter twice, and I'm going to leave the other half of it in my bowl. The first layer is going to be orange, so there's my orange mica. And add a healthy dose to my not yet stick blended batter, but I am going to make sure the orange is well incorporated. Now I'm going to add about a third of my fragrance oil. I've never used this fragrance oil, so I was being really cautious here at first, but it's actually quite nice to soap with. Now I'm blending up my orange layer. I had to be very careful with this because there was not a lot of batter there. Alright, I'm just pouring this into my tall and skinny mold from Be Scented. And scraping out my bowl. Smacking it down. I was quite forceful in trying to get this layer to be flat. I maybe stick blended it just a little too long. Could be that the fragrance oil does accelerate just slightly. Adding the other third of my fragrance oil to my half of my batch that's in my bowl. I'm just going to stick blend that up before I added my colors. I did a lot of pulsing in this whole video for stick blending just so that I didn't incorporate too many bubbles. So I have a little bit of my green set aside in a bowl mixed with the batter's oils. I'm going to split my batter into 4. So that was green. Here's that orange again. And my brown. Mixed all together. And here's my uncolored soap section. Going to do an in the pot swirl. In hindsight, I would have used less brown and orange, more green, and tried to leave more of the uncolored soap batter. I don't know quite why I was pouring so slow here, I just didn't want it to make a mess. So the brown is in and the orange is in. I did want every bar to have about equal portions of the colors. And here's the green. I'm trying to get the green to go down the center here. Alright, ready to pour it into my mold. It did get a little bit thick on me, but not too bad. It's a fun way to make stripes in soap, it looks like. I have to play with this technique again in the future. I scraped my bowl out, now I'm banging down my mold again. I am all out of new leaf green mica, so I have this other light green mica that I'm going to use. It's close, it's not exactly the same, but you can barely tell in the finished soap. And this is the reserved third of my batter, or fourth of my batter. The rest of my fragrance oil. And just buzzing this up really quick. I did wait a little bit between this point that I started buzzing it and started pouring it, just to try and let this second layer that's already in the mold set up a little bit. My friend isn't too much of a fancy person, so I decided not to decorate the top of the soap any. I'm just going to add a little bit of swirl. You can see it in the final bars, but it's very, very subtle. I'm just going to pull it up so you can kind of see that the swirling that I did. Kind of looks like vines. And here it is out of the mold. You can see how that green brightened up. And you can kind of see the two difference in the green colors here and the brown side. Something else I learned from Ophelia Soapery is to bevel some of these edges while the soap is a whole loaf instead of trying to do each bar individually. Sure saves a lot of time. Add a little bit of soda ash here. That's really weird because I did cover it very well. It's like, okay. It was just determined to ash. It may have ashed more, but I did force it through gel. Here we go, cutting the bars. So I really do like it. I wasn't quite sure, but then I started cutting more of these, and I was like, yeah, you know what, this is... I don't know what I was looking to do, but I ended up really liking the end result. I love this weird shadowy sort of, I don't know, effect that forcing the soap to go through gel phase and using the uncolored base kind of makes it translucent. And so you can see, especially with the brown, some of the brown that's behind the surface of the bar. I'll show you here in just a sec, a little bit more of a close-up of that effect. And that was my final bar and my cut end. So here you can see where you've got, like, it almost looks like a bluish tinge behind the brown, like a shadow. I think that's really cool. Totally didn't expect that to happen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.